Coming up today on Studio 13 Live.
I just want to know more about them.
We are learning the real reason Harry Styles didn't play Prince Eric in the Little Mermaid live-action movie.
Plus, it's tea time. We're trying out different pu'er teas from China with Crimson Lotus tea.
Then we're sitting down with the Senior Ocean Policy Manager at the Seattle Aquarium and author of Superpod. Learn how they're working to help endangered whales.
And we're making signature dishes with Bai Tong Thai Street Cafe. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Mireya Garcia.
And I'm Carly Henderson, and today is International Plant Appreciation Day. What's your favorite plant?
Oh, I love all plants, but my favorite would have to be maybe like a ZZ plant because I can't kill that.
Wait, what is that?
They're just these really sturdy little plants that you
Okay.
can basically do anything to, and that thing will survive you. You know?
Okay, that's why I like a snake plant for that reason
Yeah,
too.
it's very similar.
Oh, okay. I think my favorite's a Venus flytrap because they like eat insects, you know? They open and close around different insects,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, are you an animal or a plant?
So the vegetarian likes the carnivorous plant?
Absolutely. Nature's food chain.
That's right.
Oh man, I also love a basil though. I had a little garden
Ooh,
last
yeah,
year, so
that's
that was fun.
good.
You can eat your garden, you know?
I do love that. Yeah.
All right. Well, starting our show on a little bit of a more serious note with this news today. So the Daytona Beach Police Department in Florida put out a call for help searching for actor Drake Bell. In a post on Facebook, the police department says he's considered missing and endangered. The department said that he should be traveling in a 2022 gray BMW. His last known location was potentially at a nearby high school around 9 p.m. last night.
And obviously this is a developing story and things will change, so we will continue to update you as we get that, but a serious situation there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, actor Jamie Foxx recovering in the hospital now after a medical complication on Tuesday. So it was his daughter who posted about this originally on social media, saying that luckily he is on the mend. But, you know, it was all because of quick action and care. The family is asking for privacy at this time. So we don't know exactly what happened, but we are glad to hear that he's doing well. We do know that Fox had been working in Atlanta on a film called Back in Action.
Sending him all the love for that. I'm just really glad that we don't know all the details for this. You know, I
Sure.
feel like we're in a world now where we know so much about celebrities and like all the information is released. You never know who your friends are or who they aren't. And I was looking it up, and the HIPAA law only took effect in 1996. So
Oh,
before
that's very
that, I
recent,
mean, I'm sure
yes.
there were like some policies, but I mean, it was probably a little bit more of the Wild West. So I'm just really glad that his privacy is protected. I'm sure they'll give us an update when we need to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to say that curiosity is certainly natural, so we're all wondering what happened. But yes, I mean, we all deserve privacy, and if something went wrong with our health, I think that, you know, I know I would certainly want it to be up to me to talk about it first and not just have that information, you know, told to everybody just because.
Yeah.
All right, the National Recording Registry releasing this year's list of 25 audio treasures. First of all, I love the name.
I love this name too. It's so cute.
And this is very interesting. So this list includes Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, John Lennon's Imagine, and Daddy Yankee's Gasolina, and Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. So all of these are classics. Of course, Queen Latifah, also the first female rapper to be added with her album All Hail the Queen. And this registry honors what the Library of Congress calls defining sounds of the nation's history and culture. I love to see pop culture and then, you know, just the history of our country coming together.
Yeah, the U.S. government being like, it's official. They are national treasures right there. So many of these songs, too, I feel like are going to be stuck in my head now for the rest of the day. You just say the name Gasolina and like, here we go. It's going. It's bumping. Got a little reggaeton going here, too. And I was reading about it, too, and All I Want for Christmas With You, apparently it was a modest hit at first. This wasn't an explosive hit right off the bat. It's just been growing and growing and climbing, and now it's an audio treasure.
Oh my goodness. It's kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show, I guess. Like you thought it was always a hit, not necessarily.
I've never seen that.
Girl, we're going to change that this
I know.
year.
It just sounds so scary.
It's not.
It's
funny.
like campy though,
yeah,
right?
It's super campy.
Yeah, I need
for
to
sure.
see it at some point. Well, we are learning more details about the cast that could or could not have been cast of Little Mermaid live action movie. So the film's director told Entertainment Weekly that Harry Styles turned down the role as Prince Eric because he wanted to pursue darker movies. Styles, of course, ended up starring in Don't Worry Darling and My Policeman. That would have been amazing though. I feel like Harry just really, after being in One Direction, you know, I feel like with a lot of people, not saying it's a boy band, but it's a band that had boys in it,
It's
right?
a boy band.
And people are really sensitive about that.
I love a boy band. I don't know.
Oh, me too. But I just feel like sometimes you want to be taken a little bit more seriously. And so I mean, if you look at the first role that he took in Dunkirk, this was like a World War II movie. It was dark, it was heavy, it was serious. And then all the films that he's chosen since, I feel like he had a vision for where he wanted to take his career. He's even done kind of the same thing with his music. So I see why he didn't want to do it, but it would have been cool to see.
It is interesting though, because I feel like with his music, even though it's grown and evolved, it's still kind of like a bop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're kind of happy and dancing to the song, but he does want a darker role for his film career. And you know what? Good for him for knowing what he wants and not saying yes to every project, even if it has, you know, the Disney name on it, of course. But he's had an interesting career, although I have to tell you, I am not a Harry stan, so I only just found out about this. But Prince Eric really gives me Jonas Brother. Like I expected one of the Jonas Brothers to be offered the role. I know, I don't know why.
I could see, what's that guy from Euphoria who's really, really tall? Nate, that he plays Nate in Euphoria. I could see like him taking it on. Or just like a large man. Like that's what Prince Eric looks like to me. I don't think of the Jonas Brothers as like big and tall and like super
I think it's something about the hair. Like it gives me Prince. Yeah. Who knows? Well, we're not making decisions here, so it's kind of whatever. I know. And you know, another show that some people love and some people hate, Big Bang Theory, there's actually another series about it in the works. So according to Variety, the creators of the show Big Bang Theory and of course Young Sheldon, which is doing well, are in the early stages of another spin-off. But here's the thing, they haven't released a plot. We don't have any other details, but it is exciting and people are excited about it. So when it comes out, if it comes out, it would be available on Max. Okay, so that's HBO Max, but it is officially changing its name in May because they're merging with Discovery Plus, you know.
Interesting. I'm kind of surprised to hear that it's going to be on this streaming service just because, you know, Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon both hugely successful shows. Wildly successful shows on network TV. You know, people turn on their TV in the evenings, they're like, what's on? And then they get hooked on these shows. But this is a streaming service that you really have to pay for, and I feel like has like a little bit of a different type of programming. So I'm surprised to hear that it's going to be behind a paywall.
Yeah, I could see what you're talking about, but I'll tell you this. All of the Big Bang Theory episodes are available on HBO Max. So I think what's happening is that they're seeing how often it gets replayed and they're saying, we got to keep cashing in on this.
Let's make a new one. Well, speaking of subscriptions, people are starting to cut back on their subscriptions. So according to the Wall Street Journal, cancellations have outpaced new subscriptions for the last 2 quarters. Experts say this is because people are paying closer attention to how much their subscriptions cost. How many subscriptions do you think you have, Mireya?
Oh gosh. Okay. I have Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Peacock, Apple. I have 5.
Okay. And you always have them all.
So I did for a long time, but now I like unsubscribe when my favorite shows are on a break.
Same, yeah.
So right now I have all 5, so maybe she needs to rethink this. But I mean, I feel like it used to be the cheaper option, but at this point it's like cable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. They're going to end up just bundling them, and then we're going to be like back where we started.
Back where we were,
I will get Apple and I will get HBO when there are shows that I really want to watch them, but then I'll cancel them like after that month or whenever. Always have Netflix. Always have Amazon. I do Obey, which is like a fitness subscription every month, and then of course Spotify. But I feel like the one that I would be okay with letting go is Amazon, because if you think about it, so I pay $8 a month and I share it with my boyfriend, which means we're paying $16 a month for 2-day shipping. That is so much money every year just to have the option. And like sometimes you use Amazon a lot. It's great when you're in a pinch, but then other times it will go like a month or two without ordering anything. And I feel like I can get so much of that on Target. I really wish Amazon Prime was cheaper.
I know.
And I don't use any of the television or music or anything from there, really.
Amazon. That's 6. Oh my gosh, I have a problem. But you know what? I'll tell you, Amazon Prime really worked for me for a really long time because I was regularly buying diapers and dog food. So getting that delivered to me really helped. But you know, as life changes, maybe our decisions have to change too.
It's always good to reevaluate.
Yeah. All right. So this is an interesting little debate here, okay? At what age should kids be financially independent from you? There are some responses here, depending on the generation. It depends the answer, okay? So according to a new survey, Gen Zers think that 21 and up is a good age to start paying for some expenses, while millennials and Gen Xers think that it should be closer to 20. Baby boomers think that people should be financially independent at 19.
Wow.
I know. So despite those expectations, 31% of parents say that they have sacrificed their own financial goals to help their adult kids with money. Thoughts here?
I would say, like, as soon as you're done with school and out in the world working, that would be, I mean, that was my case. So that's probably what I would do as a parent. Yeah,
that would be good to me too. I am actually quite critical of people who really cut their kids off too early, because I understand there are difficult financial situations out there, but then you're setting your kid up to fail at that point, to me. You know, so I think 21, 22 would be the right answer to me.
Early 20s, All right, well, we all know that concert tickets are really expensive, but a new study looked at the best and worst times to buy them. It looked at the average prices for tickets on resale sites like StubHub and SeatGeek, and according to the study, the best time to buy is the day of the concert.
What?
Yeah. So the second best prices are during the week of the show. The absolute worst time is more than 3 months out, when the tickets first go on sale and have the most hype. But are you willing to take this kind of risk? That's the question.
Well, I feel like I have certainly seen a lot of people reportedly finding good deals like right before concerts and even getting some excellent seats.
Yeah, so my boyfriend's sister had the best luck doing this recently at the Taylor Swift Eras tour. So she went to it in Dallas. She already had tickets in the nosebleed section, right?
Okay.
And as they were pulling in, they were like, we really would just like die to have floor seats. Like that would be the best thing ever. So they were looking, all of a sudden they find these floor seats for $600. Look at how close she was to Taylor Swift. She sent me this video. I mean, you were like hearing the words straight from Taylor Swift's mouth at this point. She sold her nosebleed tickets in 2 minutes for $500. All she had to do was pay an extra $100, and she was right underneath Taylor Swift.
A full queen. Taylor could have thrown sweat on her.
Totally.
That's how close she is. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's so, yeah, it's like, if you're willing to risk it, or even if you just want to try and see if you can get a little upgrade, day of the show, maybe people think they're going to get money for something and then they don't get it, and then they drop the price on it.
I'm impressed. High fives to her.
High fives to Ava. What an inspirational story. All right, still to come on Studio 13 Live, we're checking in with Jody and Bender from mornings on 95.7 The Jet.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson actually sharing a funny video of the person sitting next to him on the plane. We'll tell you all about it.
Yep, and we are less than 24 hours away from taking the show on the road to Puyallup for the spring fair.
We are just going to have a blast running around, trying food, going on rides, and we hope you'll join us. It is time to check in with our besties, Jody and Bender from mornings on 95.7 The Jet. Hello, guys.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, friends. Good. I'm really excited to talk about this. So Rainn Wilson shared this funny video of a man sitting next to him on a plane. Tell us all about it. What's going on in this video?
Okay, so imagine this, first class, Delta, looks like, you know, Rainn's got his mask on, he's got a hat on, he's kind of incognito, but his eyes tell the story that he is Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute from The Office. So he is on the plane next to this gentleman who's just obliviously eating his meal and watching The Office. And Rainn tags it, says, you never know who you're sitting next to. And he just pans over and the guy's just sitting next to him, watching The Office and just minding his own business. It's funny too. Like, imagine if he knew that that was the guy that he was watching on the TV. Total Matrix moment.
Obsessed.
Seriously.
That is so cool. But I'll tell you what, Rainn Wilson did him a kindness, but by not saying hello to him, because I could not travel comfortably the rest of the flight. I'd just be staring at Rainn Wilson.
It has to feel so good though too. Like you have so many fans on the internet that you're not coming face to face with, but actually just seeing someone like consume the piece of work that you've put out there and enjoy it while they're eating their meal, or just, I don't know, like enjoying it in the wild. That has to feel really good to just like stumble upon.
You think this guy got off the plane still not knowing if it was Rainn Wilson sitting next to him?
Absolutely.
You don't think they aired him in on the deal?
Yeah.
No.
That would be
Not at
wild.
all.
If I were Rainn
Incognito.
Wilson, I would have, at the very end, right when you're getting off, I would have tapped him and gone, hey, thanks for watching my show.
Oh, that
You
would be
know?
cool.
Just to be
Yeah.
like, give him that moment, but not have to linger too
The
long.
greatest celebrity encounter, and it's more of an urban legend than anything else. You ever hear the story of Bill Murray walking up to a couple eating at McDonald's, and he walks up, takes one of their French fries. The woman looks up, is like completely shocked, and Bill says, "No one's ever going to believe you," and leaves.
I love that. I love that. Oh, that would
Wow.
be pretty cool.
The
for
confidence in your own fame to do something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this legend right here. Michael Jordan's last dance sneakers selling for a whole lot of money at auction. What are we talking about here?
$2.2 million for a pair of the Air Jordan 13s. He wore them during the 1998 playoffs. Now, this one here, this is the shoe that was unveiled during the 1998 All-Star game.
Of course
it's
you
a
have
different
it.
colorway. Of course I do. It's a different colorway. The one that he auctioned off, these were the red ones along the bottom. $2.2 million autographed. If I had that kind of cash, they would go right next to these. That would go right next to
Oh my God.
these.
Now you're just showing off.
That would go right next to these.
Is your shoe room and your radio room in the same spot?
It is not. I actually went into my shoe room to bring them into my studio. But
It's all a tax write-off now.
that's right.
That's right.
That's absolutely right. But $2.2 million, in a heartbeat, and they're autographed. And are you kidding me? Absolutely, 100%. And the new movie Air is in theaters right now. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. I'm not just saying it because I'm a sneakerhead. It is a great movie. You need to go see it. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did a fantastic movie. Ben Affleck directing the movie. Awesome movie. You got to go see it.
As a sneakerhead, Bender, how much would you pay? What's the most you would pay for a sneaker?
God.
Or that you have paid.
Yeah, tell us both.
The most I have paid, I have been very fortunate. I've never had to pay more than $500 for a pair of shoes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But I will tell you that if I mean, I guess it's all relevant because if it was disposable income and I had that kind of money, I would have upped the bid. I would have gone $2.5 million, $3 million, because if at that point, I mean, if you're like, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos money, you just keep bidding until you win, right?
I guess
I mean,
that's
who
true.
cares?
I mean, yeah, and you're getting way more, because we did that story recently about someone paying like $40,000, $50,000 for a chewed up piece of gum that allegedly belonged to Robert Downey Jr.
That's correct.
So,
yeah.
I mean, at least you're getting a sneaker you could not that you would wear it, but you could wear it. You wouldn't
Would
really
you
want to
wear
chew
it?
that gum.
Why not?
Oh, okay. Very
Because
nice.
if I had that kind of money, I would have Michael Jordan on speed dial, call him, get another pair of shoes, and not have to worry about it.
Look,
Oh,
if
the
we're dreaming,
plans.
we're going to dream big, okay?
These are good plans to make.
Jody and Benner, thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, friends. All right, coming up, Crimson Lotus Tea is joining us in studio.
So we're going to try some of their delicious teas straight from Yunnan, China. Plus, you'll hear all about a spring festival on Saturday.
I wanna see you smile.
Time for Seattle Sips, where we highlight delicious drinks in our area.
And today we are joined by Glenn Bowers, the owner of Crimson Lotus Tea. Welcome.
Hi. Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So you have this beautiful setup
Yes.
here. So talk to us about how you got into tea to begin with.
I got into tea through coffee. I was a big coffee nerd. Of course, being from Seattle, you have to be. I mean, I'd source my beans and I'd roast them and all that stuff. And then I had this tea for the first time, and it was like, click. And now I'm married to a girl from where this tea comes from. We started this
Okay.
business, and we go to China COVID permitting, whenever we can. And we
Yeah.
actually work direct with the tea farmers, and we source everything like on site.
Oh, beautiful.
That's awesome. And then what kind of tea is it, and where is it from specifically?
So this tea is called pu'er, and it is from Yunnan, China. It's the southwest corner of China, kind of like Burma, Laos, Vietnam, right at the foothills of the Himalayas, getting up into Tibet. It's the only place that this tea comes from.
And you know, I'll tell you, I've never, I normally, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, buy like the little tea
Sure.
tea bags, you know,
Sure.
which I think a lot of
Yeah.
people do, but I've never had a chance to see beautiful tea leaves
Yeah,
like this.
yeah. So
It's
that's
amazing.
That's how we buy it from the farmers. That's about 200 grams, and then we'll take that and we steam that and we press that, and then it comes into a cake about like
Oh
this.
my
You can actually
gosh.
take that and check
And
that
then
out.
do you just
we can
break
hold
off
it.
pieces from it?
Yeah, you break off little pieces. We use little tea knives and things, and we just kind of break off a little bit. So that there, I mean, you could drink off of that for about a month. So it's a lot of tea.
Oh my gosh.
A month of tea. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to get to try
Yeah.
some of your beautiful tea. What are we doing today?
So I brought one of our portable tea brewers so that we can try brewing tea a couple different ways.
Cool.
Sometimes people get a little bit stressed about what's the right way to brew tea.
Yeah.
If you're brewing tea and you like it, you did it right. So I just wanted to
Okay.
showcase a couple different ways on how to brew tea. So this is a portable tea brewer that we designed and had made for us in China.
Looks very cool.
It does.
But you can also just toss some leaves in a mug, right? So
Okay.
kind of like that. So that would be called grandpa style, and that's the way.
Right here.
Yeah, that's the way literally everybody in China drinks tea. They've got a mug, they throw in a couple leaves, and it's as simple as that. If you
Really?
want more, you just add more hot water.
No need
So-
to
And then
bag
how,
it.
do you
don't need to
not
bag it
mind
or
if the
anything.
leaves touch your like lips, or do you
Doesn't
pull them
matter.
out, or how does it
You just kind of filter
work?
it out.
Yeah,
They all, you see how they kind of all settle down to the
Yeah.
bottom eventually. So it just kind of works itself out. So
kind of like that.
this is a really quick steep, right? You saw that. So
Yes.
you really don't. What you're doing with something like this is you've got a really high leaf to water ratio, and you do it through really quick steeps. You can actually smell the leaf there. So this is
my gosh.
this is much more floral of a tea. So this is Vibe, which is the one on the left there. We've got some awesome artwork on there from Seattle artist Stasia Burrington, who's amazing. She's been working with us for a while.
That's so cool.
I brought two of my favorite cups. So these cups, we actually work with the potters who make these cups.
Oh wow.
Which is really it's really exciting.
Are these
Special?
local or from China as
It's
well?
also from China. So these cups are sourced from the exact same ground where the tree is grown. So the clay
my
comes from the ground. I love
gosh.
that kind of synergistic aspect.
Yeah.
And so you're welcome to try that.
Okay.
Slurping is encouraged.
Encouraged.
Yep.
Do we
It's like-
do a little cheers or just sip
You
up?
can if you want to, or you can just sip
We
up.
like
You
to
go
cheers.
I'll do a cheers
Cheers.
with you guys. Yeah.
It's kind of like not farm to table, but like leaf to cup. You're very like
Exactly.
close to the source of everything.
So this, and if you can pour a little bit over the tea pets there, which is
Oh, that's
something
so
that
good.
they
What
love
is
to
a
do.
tea pet?
Tea pet is just a fun thing made out of the same clay.
Oh my
People in China like to
gosh.
pour a little stuff over there. It's just kind of a way to have like a little friend with you. So this tea is more on the floral
Yeah.
side. It's got
Yeah.
some nice bitterness and astringency, and these are really complex teas.
Yeah.
So I would actually take this tea, and I'd be brewing this tea for an hour.
Oh,
actually.
wow.
So steep by steep by steep, you learn a little bit more about the tea. So basically, we're taking one chapter out of a really big book, and we're
Yeah.
looking at it, but there's so much more to these teas.
Beautiful. And we have a few more we're going to try.
Yes,
Is that
we
right?
do. Yep. And
Excellent.
so,
And so you
I've
said
got
pour
some-
our tea on the little
Yeah, go ahead.
frog, right?
Go ahead.
Is that
Give
a
him a little
turtle?
There
bath.
you go. Well, he's like a giant toad of legend in Chinese
okay.
mythology. You see him sometimes. He's got like a little coin in his mouth. You see it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So the other one is a really dark brewing tea. You guys can actually take this and smell that.
Oh wow.
So it's
Oh,
much,
wow.
much, much earthier.
Yeah.
Right. So this is like walking through a Pacific Northwest forest
That's
after
what,
the
that's
rain,
the
right?
vibe I got.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there
And-
like a little peach in there too?
There might be. You know,
Yeah.
everybody brings their own experiences and tastes to the different teas, and so you may be experiencing or tasting stuff like that.
Yeah.
Something kind of sweet like that.
So I'll probably only steep this one for about 10 seconds. So
Okay.
it's going to go quick. And the last one I've got, so this one is dark depths. So this
Okay.
is it's a show pour,
Okay.
and it's going to brew really thick and dark.
And what are these teas wrapped in?
So those ones are wrapped in. So we wrap them in paper. We work with printers in China to do that. But then
Yeah.
traditionally they would wrap them in bamboo. So that's actually bamboo
Oh my
skin. So it's peeled
gosh.
off the side of a bamboo tree.
Wow.
They steam it and press it, and so that's 5 cakes. It's a very traditional way of storing tea because these teas were designed to be stored for a really long time.
Okay.
Right, let's
because
try
they
these.
actually
We do
age.
have about 30 seconds.
All right.
So we will try this even
So much
earthier
darker,
tea.
yeah.
Yes. That is so amazing. And it's really beautiful how involved you are in the entire process, even though it's, you know, a sort of worldly process as well.
Yeah.
Let's give
And we'll
this a
mention
try.
too, you're going to be at the Cascadia Spring Tea Festival in
Yeah.
Everett.
It's in Everett, the floral hall at the Forest Park. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have tea with people if you've never been to a tea festival.
Yeah,
You
I've never
absolutely
been to
need
one before. What a great place to be. Try some delicious tea. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, Glenn. Okay,
Thank
you can catch Crimson Lotus Tea at the Cascadia Spring Tea Festival this Saturday. And we do have more information on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
And still to come on Studio 13 Live, just how short is the world's shortest dog?
Guinness World Records has made a very teeny tiny announcement about it, and we're going to show you the new record holder next.
Hey, welcome back. So on top of being a father to 12 kids and host of The Masked Singer, Nick Cannon will soon become a radio show host. His new show is called The Daily Cannon and will be on AMP, which is Amazon's live streaming app. The Daily Show will feature live music, interviews with artists, the inside scoop on celebrities, culture news, and more. It's going to air weekdays starting April 24th.
You know, this guy is working hard, and he's got a lot of mouths to feed, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I know, like, AMP has been trying, this is almost like a fair playing field for everybody. Anyone can have a radio show on AMP, so it's cool to have a celebrity attached to it, too. Nick Cannon's been at it since he was really young, too. I remember on Nickelodeon.
That's right.
He was, like, hosting as a teenager, so the man likes to stay busy.
Good for him.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have a new Prada dress, okay? Luxury brand. It's getting a lot of heat on social media. People say it looks a lot like, let me get a good look here. Yep, it looks like a hotel towel or maybe even a spare curtain. They say that it is perfect for that just got out of the shower look. And it cost a whopping $3,600. And look, if you like this, I got bad news for you. It is actually sold out. This is a wild one. This is like with the red boots. I think people are buying it for show.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think if you spend that much money on something like this, like, money means nothing to you, so congratulations. But good news for all the DIYers that want to try to make it. I mean, very simple pattern there, right? Bunch it a little bit at the top and just snip and sew it up. There you go. Maybe I just don't know high fashion. I don't
get it, but you know, okay.
All right. Guinness World Records just named the world's shortest dog. Take a look. So this is Pearl. She's smaller than a remote. She's a 2-year-old Chihuahua who's shorter than even a popsicle stick. Pearl is 3.59 inches tall and 5 inches long, weighing a little over a pound. Oh, that's so tiny. She was first revealed on Guinness's talent show in Italy. And while she might be small, Pearl's owner says she is definitely a bit of a diva. I mean, look at that little face.
Oh, so I would be a diva too if I was smaller than a $1 bill. You got to make your presence known, you know?
That's big dog energy right there. Pearl is bringing us.
Oh my goodness,
I love it. I love small
cute.
dogs, but that small, I would be like nervous. You almost couldn't walk around your house unless you were holding the dog. You'd have to be sliding around, you know? You don't want to step on it.
Hey, April is Earth Month, and a new study shows that the majority of Americans lie about their environmental habits to impress others. So the study found that 54% of people like to or are less likely to practice sustainable habits actually when no one is watching, okay? So that could be like throwing a can in the trash instead of recycling. And then another 45% of people say that they have bought something simply because it was marketed as sustainable. So have you made any sustainable swaps?
Well, Seattle makes it really easy.
They do.
So with the compost bins here, I never composted before this, and now it's just a bin at my house, and I put my food scraps in it. And every time I do, I think I'm just like saving the world right now, bringing in all the, you know, it's going to be reused
it feels
for like
good.
so many different things. So I would say composting, I do feel really good about doing that. What about you?
I think it's like really sketch when you have to pay more to do something good for the environment. So I do my best. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I will say that it was crazy to me once. I was working at this place that used a ton of paper and didn't recycle any of it because you had to pay like significantly more to send that off to recycling.
That should be subsidized.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
That is really wild. Yeah, but it feels good. You know, we love the planet. I want to. It's our only home. We got to live here. So until we can be, you know, shot into space and live in some futuristic place, we got to take care of the planet.
That's coming.
It's coming. We'll see. I'm a little scared of that. A popular ramen shop in Tokyo has actually banned customers from using their phones while eating because it is not what they want people to be more present, and they want to actually reduce wait times most of all. So the restaurant says that people are distracted by their phones, they eat too slow, and according to the owner, the noodles that he uses stretch out and they're ruined after sitting for too long in the soup with people on their phones there. So the ban helps people keep moving through and keeps the quality consistent.
They're talking about being present, but I really think it's mostly about like, eat and get out of here, please.
Yeah, like we want to maximize service. I remember when I was in Italy with my family, this restaurant said, because we were just sitting and talking and enjoying, you know, the space and the wine and everything after we'd finished our food, they came up to our table and they said, it's time to go. Like they just want, because it was a popular place, so they wanted more people. And we were like so shocked by that, but it kind of makes sense from a business standpoint, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I do kind of wish that phones were banned in more places though. You know, I just feel like it used to be that your phone and the internet was like an escape from reality. But now it's like when you're in reality, it's an escape from the internet because we're just always on our phones, always on our screens. So
you do enjoy being disconnected from time to time.
I do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's great. All right. Coming up on Studio 13 Live, we are sitting down with ocean policy activist and author Nora Nickum.
Yeah, hear about the work that she's doing to help endangered orcas and all about her new book called Superpod. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile.
Welcome back. Nora Nickum is the Senior Ocean Policy Manager at the Seattle Aquarium, leading ocean conservation policy work with legislation.
Yeah, and on top of that, she's also an author. Her new book, Superpod, Saving the Endangered Orcas of the Pacific Northwest, introduces young readers to the lives of these fascinating whales and the dedicated people that are working to save them. So joining us to share more about her work, Nora Nickum.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in here. So you focus on southern resident orcas. Tell us all about them and kind of how they've inspired your work.
Yeah, so the southern resident orcas are local salmon-eating orcas. There are 73 of them. They all have names. They can all be told apart by the pattern on their back and the size of their dorsal fin and other things. They have family, they make friends, and they're just kind of our local neighbors. And I grew up watching them, spending time out on beaches, kind of with my ear tuned to hear the sound of an orca blow and realize that they were nearby and be able to watch them. And they're not doing very well. They are critically endangered. So now I'm working to do my best to help them recover.
I think that your connection to that is beautiful. And you're also an author. In fact, you have written Superpod, Saving the Endangered Orcas of the Pacific Northwest. So tell us about the book and how it is that you want to lean into hope and what people can do to improve the situation.
Yeah, so Superpod is a book for kids and teens in particular. And I'm working to introduce kids to these whales if they don't already know them. But I think even kids who already love these whales will find a lot of new things in this book. And just help them get to know them, build that emotional connection, because that is what kind of inspires us all to help them, you know, get on the road to recovery. So I share a lot of information about the whales, but also all the people who are working to help them. There are vets, there are scientists, artists, educators who are all doing amazing things to try and help these animals.
Oh, that almost reminds me of like Mr. Rogers when he says like, when difficult things happen, look for the helpers. Yeah. So I love that you like lean into that positive side of things too.
There are a lot of helpers, yeah, and I picked the title Superpod because that's what, when the three pods, JK and L pod, come together, it's like a family reunion. It's an underwater party. They're splashing, they're socializing, there's a lot of calling and noises. That's called a superpod, but I also think of that human community of helpers as a kind of superpod.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know you also do policy work with the Seattle Aquarium. Tell us all about what you're doing there.
Yeah, well, so right now in Olympia, we're advocating for funding for things like salmon habitat restoration so that there can be healthier salmon populations to feed the orcas, but also support all the human communities that rely on salmon and the broader ecosystem. We're also advocating for funding for a program called Quiet Sound that's been working to reduce the impacts of large commercial ships on the orcas. So those ships make a lot of noise, and it's hard for the orcas to communicate with each other and to use sound to find salmon when there's a lot of noise. So Quiet Sound got a bunch of ships just in the last several months to slow down voluntarily when in these waters, because that makes the waters quieter. So we're just looking for more funding for that kind of program.
Awesome.
So I think that when we look at the problems in our environment and the situation with the orcas being so worrisome, I think there's a tendency for just the average person to feel really down about that. Is there something that somebody just outliving their lives can do to improve the situation?
Yeah, there are lots of things. I mean, for kids, I'd say, you know, talk to people about these whales, talk about endangered species, help them get to know what these animals are like and that they're worth saving. But there are things we can do with our purchasing decisions, like choosing sustainable seafood so that we're not buying fish that's getting depleted, picking up litter that we see on the beach, making sure it doesn't go out in the ocean, and contacting legislators and asking them to support the kinds of bills and policies that can help these whales.
And when you say sustainable seafood, how do you know if some is sustainable or not?
Yeah, so there's a great guide called Seafood Watch where you can look up the specific kind of seafood that you're considering buying, and it gives you a rating for whether or not it's sustainable.
Okay, there you go. So you just do a little bit of extra work and then you can really help make a change there.
Yeah.
You also have some book signing events coming up. Tell us about those. Where can people get a copy of your book? Talk to you about your work, all that.
Yeah, so the book is available pretty much anywhere you can buy books, online and in stores. I'm doing a book signing on Sunday, April 16th at the Seattle Aquarium. And so when people come there, they can also come check out all the other animals that are there to see. And then a really fun event on April 29th at the Museum of History and Industry. That's a panel with an orca expert and a high school volunteer for the Seattle Aquarium. Awesome. And all of those are available on my website at noranickum.com, and there's going to be a bunch of events around the region if you can't make it to those.
That is so awesome. Now, you did share with us that this book is kind of leaning more towards kids and teens, but talk to me about how it could really be read by anybody, because I think sometimes, at least for me, a lot of this stuff can go over my head and feel like super big and complicated. Sometimes I think that books like this are really just an excellent way of simplifying things for everybody.
Yes, and I definitely don't talk down to kids in this either, so I think that also it just respects kids as they're smart, they're clever, they don't need, you know, things to be simplified too much, but trying to make the science digestible and interesting and bringing in conversations with a lot of the people who are involved with trying to help these whales, from people who are eavesdropping on them using underwater hydrophones, which are like microphones, hearing what their calls sound like, people who are using drones to study them from the air, and that's how you see what's happening under the water, how are they connecting with each other. So bringing in those stories and really making it all digestible and making the science fun.
Yeah. Before we started filming here, you were telling us a little bit about microplastics and plastics in the ocean and how we can do a little bit better when it comes to helping the animals that way. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we're trying to cut back on single-use plastics in particular, because there are a lot of more sustainable alternatives, things that are compostable, recyclable, reusable, and just prevent this stuff from getting out into the environment in the first place. Once it's out there, you know, some animals mistake it for food, or they get tangled up in it and it's full of toxic chemicals. So if we can keep it, you know, just avoid buying things in the first place that use a lot of plastic, that'll help keep it also out of the environment.
And then what are some single-use plastics? So like water bottles, takeout containers, what else?
Water bottles, yeah, utensils, straws, but also just thinking about packaging. So when you go to the store, can you buy things in bulk instead of coming in, you know, a plastic
Like a
clamshell
really
package?
smart. Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that a lot of that stuff is called wish cycling, so people think they can recycle it, but they actually cannot.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate your time here today,
Yeah.
educating us and helping us better prepare our children to understand these things, because you know what, in the future, they're the ones that are going to be dealing with all of this as well.
That's true.
Thanks so much, Nora.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we've got more info on her book, Super Pod, and upcoming signing events up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, Bai Tong Thai Street Cafe is showing us how to make some signature Thai dishes,
including a papaya salad platter. It sounds amazing. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile.
Hey, It's time for Emerald Eats, where we get to highlight some amazing food in our area.
Yes, and today we are joined by Kay Bangmati and Chonlasit Saisud with Baitong Thai Street Cafe. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
A round of applause for this setup, you guys. It looks amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, located in Capitol Hill, and it's actually an expansion of one of the most popular Thai restaurants in Washington State. So tell us a little bit about the restaurant.
Well, start with Jan Pen, who's the first generation who did it. She's a fry attendant, and that time there was no much of the Thai restaurant. So she's just cooking and making for her crew. She's a fry attendant. And then after that, the second generation, Noi, is her daughter with her son-in-law. With they start the Baitong in Redmond.
Oh, okay.
And let's go from there.
Yeah, it's grown and grown. And I've walked by your Capitol Hill location before and saved it to my Google Maps going, I have to come back here. So I'm glad you're bringing it all into us here today. I hear you have a robot server there.
We do. We started with that about 3 years ago. That's what nobody that we can recruit to work. And JJ was kind enough that, hey, we're gonna find someone that can help us to run the restaurant by that time. So that's why that name is BTO1, but I call him JJ.
JJ, I love it.
And it's more like entertaining when we walk past. I say, hey, JJ.
So you've hired a robot.
Yes.
That's so
Never
wild.
caught sick yet.
Very cool.
Never caught sick yet.
That's right, that's right. And I'll tell you, our anchors with Good Day Seattle, Bill and Liz, said that they also love this restaurant. So, we were very excited to visit with you as well. What are we making today?
We're making the som tam thad.
Okay.
Craft fried. He's gonna make the som tam thad.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you, but we brought some craft fried rice and tom khao for you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And some special drink of the month.
Oh, wonderful. All right, let's get
Started. Yes.
Yeah.
So what are we going to be doing here? This is a very cool item. It's just kind of a mortar and pestle.
It's more like a street food. You're gonna see every corner of the street in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common.
And tell us what you're putting in there.
We have the Thai chili.
Okay.
And some garlic there that he was starting it.
I have to peek.
Just be careful when
Because the juices of the chili.
Oh, that's true.
Step back a little bit.
Watch out. I know one
there's some
wonderful
vegetable in
lady
there.
that likes to smash things. Carly.
Oh man, flashback to me smashing a cookie.
I bet you would do a great job here, Carly.
Yeah, I mean, I would jump in and help if you needed help.
Yeah, I think we're going to be putting in a lot of these wonderful
That's
ingredients.
a Thai eggplant.
That's a Thai
eggplant.
eggplant. It's
I've never seen
green.
one.
Thai eggplant.
I didn't know there were
Wonderful.
multiple varieties. I've only seen like the
Originally, we
purple
have-
eggplant.
Oh, it almost looks
that.
like a tomatillo, but not quite.
Wait,
yeah.
I have to show the inside of this. Can I?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wonderful.
Inside.
Where is it?
Anyway, it's pretty
I like all
wild.
the little seeds.
Yeah, lots of seeds in there.
All right, what's next here?
Tomato.
Oh, yes.
Tomato.
Nice
All the
juicy
mixed
tomato.
Always a good one.
And is this for a particular sauce or it's just kind of a salad?
Is more like appetizer and salad.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Cool.
You know what? When you say appetizer, you have like appetizer start before food, but we have this all day. We can
Oh,
have
really?
nice.
Just all the time?
all the time.
Well, this plate you have here is enormous.
Yeah.
How many people does it feed? One hungry person?
I would say 5 to 6.
Oh, okay, okay, very nice. So you can have a big party.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks
And what are these
amazing.
sauces?
Fish sauce, tamarind sauce,
Wow.
and lamb, and then crab, some crab. This is original.
Oh, okay.
Yes, really. So.
Excellent.
So many
my
great
mouth
ingredients.
is watering. It's just so much fresh food. Delicious.
And if you wanna try,
Go, Carly. Smash away, girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just smash like this?
Oh, are you gonna
Am I
put
doing
some
it
of
right?
that in
Oh.
there? Get it in there.
get it in there. One hand you hold that.
Oh,
Okay,
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I do with the spoon
Yes.
part of it?
Let him show you one more time
One
so
more
you can
time.
get
Okay.
all right.
He's like, let me just start it off for
Oh,
you,
it's
girl.
so gentle the
Oh,
way you do it.
gentle.
So it's more of a mixing than a smashing.
That's right. No, that's
Did I
all
ruin
right.
the dish?
No, Oh.
Okay.
A mix.
Some more of a mixing mix. Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
Cute.
Huh?
It's just nice and soft for us. Thank you.
Yeah, nice and soft. I wanted to soften it for anyone that needs that.
Oh,
Is it mixed?
interesting.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Now
Good
what?
job.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So now you'll add it to the platter?
Yes.
As soon as it's done
Great.
here. And while we're doing that, will you tell us a little bit about some of the other stuff on the menu?
Okay, we have the crab fried rice, right? And tom kha. That
Tom
one,
kha?
yeah, tom kha.
Oh my gosh,
soup.
I love tom kha.
You want to
soup.
give it a little
I'm gonna try it. I see some
Tom
tofu
kha with tofu,
in here.
yes.
Beautiful.
That's good. And then tell us about your cocktails too.
Okay, cocktail is, my cocktail is gonna be more like storyteller. That when we bring it to you, you create your own story. When you see that, how you see the color of the under the moonlight, that's under the moon,
Right
right?
here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Moonlight can be
beautiful.
anything, and then the fairy blossom.
I like this
God.
one. It's such a pretty pink, and the presentation is just beautiful. How's this soup?
This is like the best tom kha soup I've ever had in my life. This is so good. I want to just drink it.
Oh, can I try some? You sold it,
Get in
girl.
there.
You
Oh
sold
my
it
God,
to
it's
me.
so good.
It looks so creamy too.
It's like you've got the little bit of a citrus you can
Ooh.
taste in there, but
Yes.
it's like a little sweet, creamy.
limey, but amazing. Oh,
So good.
It's more like a comfort soup.
yes.
Yeah.
It is amazing. That is good.
That's
All right.
fantastic.
So, talk to us a little more about this. What's next here?
It's gonna put, okay, he's gonna put on here, and then you can try every single thing in this.
Oh, wow. This thing,
Look at
like
that.
I see it and I think party.
Yeah.
This is fabulous.
And then what's the little crunchy stuff on top? Shrimp?
That's a dry shrimp.
Dried shrimp.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh, okay.
They're like
Let me
teeny
just-
little mini ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the salad.
Papaya salad,
Papaya
som tam.
salad. Okay.
Wow.
Trying to get that
And what
right
is
in
this
there.
right here?
Bamboo shoot,
Okay,
cucumber,
bamboo shoot.
pork crackling,
Ooh, it's got a
meatloaf,
kick. Uh-huh.
boiled egg, chicken wings. Yeah, that's
Yeah, vermicelli noodles.
right.
Okay. Is
Some
this
vegetable-
basil? Thai
no,
basil?
This is a Thai, original Thai vegetable.
Oh,
that smell
so
different
good.
than you and that mustard.
Look at
Oh,
that.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Basically, you eat it together. You can have this with pork crackling. You can pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's on your own. Yeah, you
That
can
is
have it.
beautiful and delicious. I love it. What is this right
Yeah.
here?
It's a pork loaf.
Ooh, very
okay.
nice. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been absolutely fantastic. You also have a birthday celebration?
Yes, we do. My concept is we don't want to miss your birthday party.
You got to go there for your birthday.
I know,
Thank you
absolutely.
so
Thank you for
much.
joining us. Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
See you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around.